Long ago, before Medusa became the creature everyone feared, she was simply a beautiful young woman. She lived in ancient Greece, in a world ruled by powerful gods who could control the seas, command storms, and decide the fate of mortals. Medusa was different. She didn't want power. She didn't want riches. She didn't want to become famous. She simply wanted to serve the goddess Athena. So she became a priestess in Athena's temple. Every morning, Medusa would walk through the marble halls, light the sacred lamps, and pray to the goddess. People traveled from distant lands just to see her beauty. Her golden hair was said to shine beneath the sunlight. But Medusa never cared about the attention. She believed her beauty was a gift from the goddess. Until one day, the god of the sea saw her. His name was Poseidon. He was one of the most powerful gods in existence. And when he saw Medusa, he became fascinated by her. But Medusa did not want him. She had dedicated herself to Athena and wanted nothing to do with Poseidon. Then one terrible day, Poseidon entered Athena's sacred temple. Medusa was there. What happened next became one of the darkest moments of her life. The encounter violated the sacred temple of Athena. When Athena discovered what had happened, she was furious. But instead of punishing Poseidon, Athena turned her anger toward Medusa. The beautiful hair that people once admired began to twist and move. Strands became living snakes. Medusa, screamed. She ran to the mirror. Her beautiful face had changed. Her eyes were no longer ordinary. Something terrifying lived inside them. Anyone who looked directly into her eyes would turn instantly to stone. Medusa touched her face. "Why?" she cried. "What have I done?" But there was no answer. The temple doors opened. Athena's voice echoed through the hall. "From this day forward, no mortal shall look upon you without fear." Medusa ran. She left the temple. She left her home. She left everything she had ever known. She disappeared into a distant wilderness, and there she became the monster the world had been told she was. Her snakes became her only companions. Travelers who entered her territory never returned. Warriors came searching for glory. They found only stone. Kings sent armies. None came back. Eventually, people stopped calling her Medusa. They simply called her the Gorgon, the monster. Years passed. Medusa lived alone. But deep inside the creature everyone feared, the woman was still there. She remembered the temple. She remembered her old life. She remembered being loved. And every night she cried. But then something strange happened. Her tears began creating beautiful flowers wherever they touched the earth. Flowers that had never existed before. Even in the darkest places, something beautiful grew from Medusa's sorrow. Meanwhile, far away, a young hero named Perseus was given an impossible task. Bring back the head of Medusa. The king who sent him expected Perseus to die. Everyone knew that no warrior could defeat the Gorgon. But Perseus received help from the gods. Athena gave him a polished shield. Hermes helped guide him. And Perseus traveled into the wilderness. He found Medusa sleeping inside a dark cave. Her snakes were resting around her head. Perseus knew he could not look directly at her, so he looked into the reflection of Athena's shield. Step by step, he moved closer. Medusa suddenly opened her eyes. She saw nothing. She heard footsteps. She woke her snakes. They hissed. She stood, but it was already too late. Perseus raised his sword, and with one strike, Medusa was gone. Her head fell to the ground. But even in her final moment, Medusa's eyes remained open. Perseus took her head, and as he left the cave, something incredible happened. From Medusa's blood emerged Pegasus, the magnificent winged horse, and another powerful being named Chrysaor. Even in death, Medusa gave birth to something extraordinary. Perseus eventually returned with her head. Athena took it. She placed Medusa's face upon her shield. The same woman who had once been Athena's priestess now became a symbol of divine protection. Her terrifying gaze would frighten enemies away. And so Medusa's story became legend. But perhaps the most tragic part of her story is this. The world remembered the monster, but almost everyone forgot the woman. They remembered her snakes. They remembered her eyes. They remembered the warriors she turned to stone. But they forgot that before all of that, she was simply Medusa, a young woman who served a goddess, a woman whose life was changed by the actions of powerful beings, a woman who lost everything and became the very monster everyone feared. So whenever you hear the name Medusa, remember that mythology is not always a story about good versus evil. Sometimes it is about what happens when power, anger, fear, and injustice collide. And sometimes the monster in the story was once the person who needed saving the most.